All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. This morning, we're going to ask ourselves the question, what should you fear? What is it in life that you should fear? Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Tuesday to you. Let me make sure I got everything set on the right thing here. I do. I usually check that before we go live, but I forgot. So no time like the present. What's happening? Good morning to you, Jared, Jonathan, Trisha, Carla, Tammy Clark, my girl, Dayton, Dave from Chicago. Good morning, guys. And Scott Crawford. Good morning to you guys. So this morning's episode, in full transparency, I don't know if you guys have watched or seen any clips from Joe Rogan's podcast with Kanye West. But if you haven't and you want to look at and experience a deep conversation and some interesting dialogue, I think that you should take the 3 hours over a period of days. I would assume 3 hours is a long time, but I believe the interview is about 2 hours and 57 minutes long. But this morning, I want to talk about just one piece of it. And I have a clip that I'm going to play you that kind of explains this. But, fear is a big thing in life. And when you learn to manage fear, when you get out in front of fear and you can really harness the power that comes from not being afraid, of knowing where your fear should be placed, I think that your life gets to a new level that you have never really experienced before. And this is something new to me. So I wanted to share it with you guys. And, when we go through life, we go through, tons of different things that could make us afraid, right? On a daily basis, we experience all kinds of stuff that could make us afraid. And over my lifetime, I have felt that fear in a big way a lot of times. I have felt debilitating fear, right? To the point that I was worried about everything that would or could happen. And I learned not to be afraid the way that I used to. I learned to fear something else. And when you learn to fear this something else, and I don't want to tell you just yet because the video that I'm going to play you from Kanye hopefully will give you that answer. But this is a clip that I think will hit with a lot of you guys, because every day we spend time being fearful of different things, whatever it is for you. It's probably specific to you and your life and your experience. But the thing that we really should fear, Kanye talks about in this video. I hope this video doesn't get us shut down on Facebook. I don't think it will, but let's see. Here you go.
If you instill the fear of God, you eliminate the fear of anything else. And it's not that I am fearless. I am definitely shaking and in so much fear of my Father. I fear God, and I don't fear nothing else.
What do you think of that? That's pretty powerful stuff, right? And so I learned, good morning to you, Jeff Nelson, Bruce, Adam, what's happening, man? See you tomorrow, brother. Justin Myers, good morning to you. I've learned over the past, handful of years here that the only thing that you have to fear is to put your fear in God, right? You fear God, and you don't have to fear anything else in your life if you put the fear that you experience only in one place. And so when you fear God and you live your life in accordance, then you don't have anything else to be afraid of. And good morning, Judd. You don't have anything else to be afraid of if you just put your fear in the right place. And I want you guys to think about something, because during that interview, Kanye has asked a lot of questions. He's asked questions about being considered bipolar, being diagnosed bipolar, and how he feels about that. And I think it's a really, really powerful interview. And I think the reason for that interview, both from Joe Rogan and from Kanye, is to try and help people be independent thinkers. I think that is a lot of the things that you see people doing online, whether it's a show like this or Joe Rogan, or right, the independent media, let's call it, the people who are out there trying to broadcast messages. Good morning, Heather Parody. Thank you for being here. The people who are trying to broadcast messages, Heather Parody, Glenn Lundy, myself, we are trying to get you the information that we see directly, not put through a filter of a corporation, but to get the information to you directly. And part of that information is being raw and real about what we all believe and what we experience. And what you'll find is that you'll start to follow those people that you can connect with, right? That you understand what they're saying, why they're saying it, where they're going, and you trust the information that is coming from this person. So let's talk about, again, the topic of fear. Let's go back to the beginning of this year, beginning of 2020, when all of this stuff about COVID started to come out, right? If you guys go back and you look at, there were a ton of people out there that were going to facilities that the news in their city was broadcasting how afraid they should be and how bad things were and how overrun the hospitals were. But yet these people could go to those hospitals and they could show you that there was nobody there. And so I want you guys to think about this today. As you go through your day, as you go through this week, I want you to think about, what are you afraid of and what should you be afraid of? And in my world, I would agree with Kanye. The only thing that we have to fear is the fear of God. If we fear God, we don't have to fear anything else. Nothing else. Put your fear in the right place. Don't put your fear in that thing that you watch that hangs on your wall or sits on your TV stand. Do not put your fear in the wrong places. It will misdirect you. But if you put your fear in the right place and you live your life accordingly, you have to fear nothing else. So all of these people that tell you to be afraid, and they put these things on the television that are designed to create fear in you, block them out and look for the truth. Look for the truth that you can find and you can verify. Because fear in this world is a driving force. It's a driving force of money. It's a driving force of buying decisions in every single business that you can look at. When people are afraid, they are very motivated to do something. If you look at the psychology of marketing, there is a piece of it that fear is a major motivator. Think about this, guys. What are you supposed to fear? What should you fear? And if you find yourself being afraid all the time, it's probably been woven into the fabric of who you are. It's probably been woven into the fabric of who you are by someone else. And in some cases, that has been woven into the fabric of who you are by people that you care about deeply, that you love, that you care about, your parents, your uncles, your aunts, Think about it. Where does that fear come from? And if it doesn't come from the fear of something far greater than yourself, if you are fearing earthly items, earthly things, earthly people, you are headed down the wrong path, because there is nothing on this earth to be afraid of. I had an experience once with a guy that told me, man, if bad things happen, if things don't go my way, then bad things tend to happen. Meaning that was a threat, right? If I don't get my way, then bad things happen. My response to him was this: man, I understand where you're coming from, but I am a Christian. And so even in the worst case scenario, I know exactly where I'm going. So you do what you got to do, and I'll do what I got to do. And so, and I appreciate that comment, Jeff, for sure. If people didn't feel fear, they wouldn't be able to protect themselves from legitimate threats. And that's not what I'm talking about. Definitely, you don't want to lose the sense of fear completely. But Zach Watkins, you just perfect timing, man. My fear is giving into self-doubt. So self-doubt is a fear. It's one of those that manage us, that lead us in the wrong direction. That's the type of fear I'm talking about, right? The fear that you can sense that's true risk, that you know, that's what it takes to protect your family. That's different. But even in that scenario, you want to sense what's going on, but the fear should stay in one place. The true fear should stay in one place, and that is to fear God. And that's it. That's it. Outside of that, you have nothing to fear. Nothing on this earth should scare you. Not living up to your potential, not living up to my potential, Zach Watkins, to give you my biggest insecurity. Not being the best father, not being the best husband, not being the best human being that I can be, that God created me to be. That is my greatest fear. That's it. Outside of that, I don't have any fears. My fear is in becoming the most godly man that I can be. And I'm working on it. I've had a lot of conversations on this topic in the last week here. And I feel like, this journey, this spiritual journey that I'm on, man, I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. But man, the power that exists in that spiritual realm is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I encourage you guys all to look into it, to explore it, to find what it is that serves you, and carry that with you every day of your life, because it is a powerful, powerful thing. And that clip from Kanye, it grabbed me because I can relate, right? It grabbed me because I can relate. And when I watched it, the first thing that I thought was, man, so many people need to feel that way. So many people need to be able to experience that feeling of having no other fear. I'm going to play that clip for you guys. For those of you who just jumped on here late, I'm going to play that clip one more time for you.
If you instill the fear of God, you eliminate the fear of anything else. And it's not that I am fearless. I am definitely shaking and in so much fear of my Father. I fear God, and I don't fear nothing else.
There it is, folks. I don't know what else to tell you on that topic, but that is where it's at. And so when you think about all the things that are going on in our world, and people wanting to remove, God from so many different things. As he said, when you remove God, you instill the fear of everything else. So I want you guys to remember that. I want you to live that in your lives. And I will absolutely drop the link to the full interview in the comments here. Jeff Nelson, the new book will be out shortly, man. Soon as this paving season is over, man, I'm going to knock that thing out. It is pretty close to done. But it is the title of it is Perspective, just like this podcast. And the idea of it is to, you know, how you can create your perspective to live a better life, and how you can use and leverage perspective in every aspect of your life, from personal to business to every aspect, to the spiritual aspect of things. And I'm excited to be able to share that with you guys. I've been working on it for a long time. I kind of put it to the side for a while and was unsure of, you know, how I wanted it to be. And I'm very glad that I did that, because I came up with the concept of how not only you can just read it, but you can be a part of it by experiencing the book in a different way. And so that's what I'm working on. As this season ends, I will dive into that full steam, and I will be sharing that book with you guys very, very soon. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you guys. There was a few newcomers here. I'm excited to see Heather Parody. If you guys aren't following Heather Parody, I would encourage you to do that. She has a group called Unconventional Leaders that's exceptional. She shares a ton of information in there, and she's just a great human being that you guys should all know. So Heather Parody, her name is in the comments here. Give that young lady a follow. And I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. It means a lot to me to spend every morning with you guys and share these messages. And it means a ton that I get so many messages from you guys talking about how they've impacted you. So I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.